There are lots of people like this. They're intelligent, they're competent, they're capable, but their life is a mess because every step they take, they are in friction with something. Any moving part, we want to make it round because it moves with least amount of resistance. In the Far East Asian cultures, they are referring to an enlightened being as Enchi, which means he's a circle. Whatever they consume is just burnt and it doesn't become body, it becomes another dimension of energy. Bandha literally means a lock. That is, you engage certain locks in the body so that your energy behaves in a particular way. Bandhas, what they can do for you. Have you heard of a word called Ojas? O-J-A-S, Ojas? No? No? Okay. The word Ojas means a non-physical dimension of energy. That is, you can generate a certain amount of non-physical dimension of energy around you. If you have Ojas around you, your passage through the world, the passage through life becomes well lubricated. That is, you will pass with minimum amount of friction. In the Far East Asian cultures, an enlightened being is referred to as Enchi. Enchi literally means a circle. You know, your car, do you have… what kind of wheels do you have? Why round wheels? Least amount of resistance. With least amount of resistance it rolls. Any moving part, we want to make it round because it moves with least amount of resistance. So if you want to move through the world without being well lubricated, you will see every step of your life seems like friction and every step of your life will be suffering because there is no lubrication. There are lots of people like this. They're intelligent, they're competent, they're capable, but their life is a mess because every step they take, they are in friction with something. So if you develop a certain amount of ojas around you, you pass through this existence with least amount of friction. The less friction you have, the more you would like to do, isn't it? Yes? You would naturally venture to do a lot of things if you had no friction problems. But every day you step out, you get into some friction, you will hesitate tomorrow to step out. This is happening all the time, isn't it? When you develop ojas, if you start developing ojas, one thing that will happen to you is all the excess weight in the body will start going away by itself simply because they're converting the physical into non-physical dimension of energy. Whatever they consume is just burnt and it doesn't become body, it becomes another dimension of energy. In yoga, we call this as stealing from the earth. Because whatever you have right now, the mass of your body, is something that you have borrowed from this planet. You can borrow. Mother Earth is very generous with the loan that she gives. You can borrow as much as you want if you can carry it around. But when the time to pay back, when the time for payback comes, she will collect atom to atom. If you say, I've been here for so long, let me have one atom as a souvenir, now deal. She collects every atom back. So this is considered stealing from the earth because now you transform physical into non-physical dimension of energy. Now, she cannot stop you. You can take it away with you. If it's in the physical form, she'll filter it out. If it's in a non-physical form, the earth cannot hold it back. Now you're doing Shambhavi. If you're doing it every day, you will develop ojas, some amount of ojas, which will see suddenly everything seems to be facilitated for you, it just happens. If you do not have any ojas, you may have all other capabilities, but simply because of the fear of friction, you will be held back. I feel this is 80% of the world's population. They're all held back, always with the fear of what will happen to me, what will happen to me. Wherever they go, they will have bad experiences. If they step in and try to do something with some enthusiasm, tomorrow morning little friction happens and they stay back. I think this is 80% of the population. The fear of what will happen makes them into half a step, never a full step in their life. So, ojas or generating ojas is a very important part of living successfully in whatever you're doing.
Spirituality means going into process that can enhance one's ojas and change the very fundamental of your life. To take into a completely different experience and joy within yourself, a blissfulness which is not only yours but also that will be of everyone around you. The true miracle of life is not in doing something but in realizing that life is already a big miracle. So with this, let's understand what really ojas is and how it affects your bodies. Friends, according to Sushruta Sutra Sthana 2219, it says that ojas is the purest and finest essence formed of all the seven dhatus, that is rasa, that is the nutritious part of food that reaches the blood from gut. All the seven dhatus include rakta, that is blood tissue, mamsa, that is muscle tissue, meda, fat tissue, asthi, bone, majja, bone marrow, sukra, that is reproductive system. It is a concept explained in Ayurveda at an intersection of physical, mental and spiritual health. Additionally, though it can be quantified, it cannot be seen or compared with any elements in the body. As per an analogy, just as the ghee is present in dormant state in milk and can be prepared only after proper processing, just like that, ojas is present in every tissue of the body or the dhatu in dormant form and is manifested as supreme quality after its proper metabolism. As the nectar is formed from the flowers, oja or ojas is formed from all the body components. That means ojas is formed as a purest secondary component after the metabolism of primary body components, that is dhatu. And it is oja that is circulated all over the body with plasma, that is rasa dhatu, and blood, that is rakta dhatu, through channels, that is ojo vahasira. These channels originate from the heart. Additionally, oja is also present in two forms, that is supreme ojas, that is also known as para ojas, and apara ojas or the mediocre ojas. To know in detail about para and apara ojas, I have talked about it in this video. I highly recommend to watch this after watching this video if you want to know about ojas in really great depth. Now, moving forward, when we eat food, generally for a human being, most of the food is converted into the physical body. A small part of it is becoming ojas. But when we are doing certain kriyas, we are trying to change this ratio. That is, we want to convert a large part of our food into ojas. That is why the whole process in Kriya Yoga is to turn this factory which makes the food into flesh, bone and fecal matter into a factory that transforms the same food into a much subtler possibility that makes you accessible to the divine. So the one most important kriya that creates ojas and can be performed at very basic level at your home is Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. But today in this video I am not going to talk about Shambhavi Mahamudra, as I have already talked about it in several of my videos. You can watch them after completely watching this video. Today in this video I am going to talk about bandhas or locks that we perform at the end of Shambhavi Mahamudra. And not only this Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya, but several other Kriyas also include different types of bandhas. Now let's learn that how these bandhas help you generate ojas, what it actually does in your body through a scientific point of view in a short video through Dr. Joe Dispenza, who is a New York Times bestseller, author, researcher, lecturer and corporate consultant, whose research has led him to develop a practical formula to help people transform their lives. So let's see a short video of his.
What would happen if you were to contract the intrinsic muscles in your body, the muscles you use for elimination, the muscles you use for intercourse. You were to contract your lower abdomen, pull your belly button in towards your spine, and contract your upper abdomen. The act of contracting these intrinsic muscles in the ancient yogic tradition called the bandhas, as you squeeze these muscles, you begin to push that cerebral spinal fluid up. Now, what if you were to take one slow, steady breath, and as you slowly follow your breath and you contract those intrinsic muscles, as you follow your breath and you bring that breath all the way up to that pineal gland, and you hold your breath and you keep your attention on that pineal gland, that's your target. The act of contracting those muscles, along with the holding of your breath, would begin to push cerebral spinal fluid right up into your brain. And as you begin to hold your breath, you're pushing that cerebral spinal fluid right up against the crystals of the pineal gland and applying a mechanical stress. And then the mechanical stress begins to electrically activate those crystals. And when those crystals become electrically activated, we are turning on the radio receiver in the brain.
Now, after seeing this video, you all might have got hint that essentially the bandhas are about slowly getting control and locking your energy the way you want. Bandhas are employed to gain control over your energy system. Well, through the short video, we might also have clearly got to know that the bandhas are extremely fruitful for the brain centers, the nadis and the chakras. It really purifies, removes blockages and harmonize and balance the self. Actually, what bandhas does is, it temporarily halt the flowing of blood. So when released, there is an increased flow of fresh blood. This flushes away all the old dead cells and activates the organs to strengthen, renew and rejuvenate as circulation is bolstered. Engaging with bandhas also teaches and strengthens single point concentration, a steady and controlled breath and a clear, calm mind. It helps to regulate your internal system from sexual to hormonal to metabolic and digestive. Engaging your lock during the yoga practice allows your energy to flow up, not down and out, making it grow manyfold and leaving you with that floaty feeling. Additionally, bandhas are basically employed to gain control over your energy systems. One of the most important aspects of yoga is to gain similar control over your energy body or pranamaya kosha as your mental body, manomaya kosha, as you have over your physical body, that is annamaya kosha. Yoga means to get into a state where you can exercise all these three koshas as you wish. If you really want to perform at the peak, it is important that your energy and mental body do the same thing as your physical body. If your annamaya kosha, manomaya kosha and pranamaya kosha is not properly aligned or synchronized, your actions will not be smooth, easy and effortless. There will be a lot of friction to do the simple things. So once you are able to use the energy body the way you use your physical body, there is no limit. There is a limit to the physical, but there is no limit in terms of experience and exploration. That is what a yogi is trying to achieve through bandhas. You may have heard of yogis in India who have been holding a hand for decades. This is a bandha. After some time, their hand will wither away because the heart cannot pump blood into the arm anymore. Slowly, the whole arm will become like a dry stick, but still that yogi will not take it down because the idea is to hold the bandhas and go beyond the physical and mental limitations. So, when you cross the physiological and psychological limitations, you will come to a space that is pure energy. If you exist here as a piece of energy that is not different from rest of the universe, becoming one with it, experiencing it, mingling with it and knowing the creation and the creator will become a possibilities. Bandhas are geared towards this. Now one thing you have to remember is that bandhas should not be performed simply by watching some random videos in YouTube. Do not perform it like that. Do perform it only the guidance of your guru or your teacher. So now moving forward, this is what we want to bring to the world, that human beings should perform at a peak. The efficiency of any machine essentially depends on the level of friction within it. If you reduce the friction to the minimum, the machine will be super efficient. When the friction is minimal, with the same amount of power, it will do much more work, and that can happen only when you are ojosar. That means you have sufficient ojas within you. When a person is Ojosar or he or she has a very huge Ojas, everything that is celestial and considered divine becomes just like normal communication. You simply see and perceive things because your energies have become so subtle. The quality, intensity and the volume of Ojas makes the difference between one human being to another. That is why one human being's presence seems to be so strong and transforming, whereas another's is weak. It is simply of the Ojas content that the particular person carries within him. Now, there are so many things that you can do to dissipate and destroy the growth of Ojas in you. That is, improper attitudes, negative thoughts and emotions and various other mental activity can do that. Certain type of physical activity, excessive sexuality, excessive indulgence in food, too many stimulants and being in contaminated atmospheres can also do that. So, with kriyas and practices, you fill the tank, but then you go on leaking the tank. It is because of this that it takes so long for a person. If one knows how to plug all the holes, suddenly you will see that the kind of energy that you gather around yourself is enormous. If you create sufficient ojas around you, your passage in the existence is very well lubricated. You will see that life happens effortlessly for you. Wherever you go, you move very smoothly. So much turmoil may be happening around you. Everybody is going through different types of turmoil, but somehow your passage will be always clear. So at last, now winding up the video, you know the true miracle of Shambhavi Mahamudra and the various steps involved in it. This 21 minutes practice is really a miracle and life transforming process. And if you want to know more on Shambhavi, how it is an ancient self-healing technique or why one should do it, I have several videos in my channel which I really recommend you to watch after watching this video. And also do watch this video if you want to know more elaborately and in depth about Ojas from Ayurvedic point of view. And other kriyas like Surya Kriya or Kapalbhati, how they help to generate the Ojas apart from Shambhavi Mahamudra. And also if you want to join Inner Engineering, kindly check the link in the description. You can register from that link. Now apart from kriyas to be performed to become Ojosar, if you want to know about the diet which is Ojosar, you can also refer these two videos is appearing on the screen. And now finally winding up the video and closing the video. Hope you loved the video and found it meaningful. And if yes, do not forget to give it a like, share and subscribe. Up to next, stay safe, healthy, happy and namaskaram.